Once again, I want to welcome you to the last Chronicles of Planet Earth. You want to visit my website, www.demoraministry.com. This is part 2 for July 22nd, 2010. And I'd like to go into Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 17. In that chapter, Jesus tells us that in the last days, there'd be one person who would be able to control the economy. And he tells us that in verses 16 through 17 that nobody was going to be able to buy or sell unless they took the mark or the number or the name of the beast, which is the beast is the Antichrist. So during the tribulation, anybody who doesn't take this mark will not be able to shop. They're not going to be able to buy anything. They're not going to be able to sell anything. In other words, you're going to be X'd out of this new system that's being created. You will be monitored. And of course, with the new age of computers, it is now possible to monitor everyone. And there's been new technologies. All these technologies are outlined in my book. Just go to the chapter. It says Increased Knowledge in the Last Days, and you will see that in my book, there's one of the new covers from my book that's coming out. There's the back cover of it. You can download this book at my site for free. And when you go into the new chapter, it would be chapter 3, knowledge, the generation of knowledge. Our generation is the only generation who was given the ability by using computers to be able to track every person on the face of this planet and to give you IDs and to monitor everything that you do. It is now possible. It was never possible before, but as God told Daniel in chapter 12, verse 4, that in the last days they would have increased knowledge. We have that increased knowledge because we are the last generation. Now, along with that, we're starting to see these technologies and these new policies that are using these technologies to give all your information and to place all this information into one area. Now, there is a new system out that's going to go into effect in 2014 under the new health bill that Barack Obama has forced down everybody's throats. And in this new health bill, you'll start to see all your information, including your health, being mandatory to doctors. And if they don't do it, then you're going to lose out on some funds for Medicare and whatnot. Now, Dr. David Blumenthal, the Obama administration national coordinator, Health and Information Technology, said Tuesday that the patients can choose to omit procedures such as abortions and positive HIV tests from the electronic health records, EHR, that every American is supposed to have by 2014 under the terms of the economic stimulus law that President Barack Obama signed last year. So what I'm giving you part of this article. So when you scroll down, click to the link to the news, you could read the whole thing for yourself. But essentially what they're saying is by 2014, you're going to have to be involved in this networking of information that the doctors are going to have to release on you. And what they were saying here, and here's one of the lies, that under abortions and HIV, you don't have to have this information put out. Now, according to the CMS own regulations issued on July 13, doctors and hospitals must demonstrate meaningful use of the EHRs to qualify for federal subsidies before 2014. Get this, among the regulations that Dr. Blumenthal issued last week for healthcare providers seeking to demonstrate that they are engaging in a meaningful use of the EHRs is that they maintain an up-to-date problem list of current and active diagnoses. So you're going to see an interview by what Dr. Blumenthal is being interviewed, and they ask him in that interview, can we opt out of not giving these HIVs or abortions? And he says only what the doctor and the patient agree on will be sent over. That was a lie. And it goes down, when you read the article, you'll see where that lie is exposed. It says the regulations under a problem list. Now, a problem list that they defined here is anything that is disease or any problems that you have, disease or procedures. It says the regulations also require that the EHRs to include a patient's problem list as well as procedures. What is a problem list? Must entail a defined in separate. This is how they define it. I'm quoting this right from that source. It says federal regulations goes on, let's see, referred to in those issued by Blumenthal on July 13th. These regulations say that such a list will include diseases, injuries, impairments, other health problems and their manifestations, causes of injury, disease, impairment, or other health problems. Procedures are defined as actions taken with regard to preventive, diagnosis, treatment, management of other things listed on the problems list, unquote. Now, in other words, everything is included in there. And when they're telling you that they're not gonna do the abortion or they're not gonna do the HIV reading, they're lying to you, because under that, isn't not HIV a disease? Isn't an abortion a problem case where somebody wants to get rid of an unborn baby? Disease, impairment, or health problems? So what they're saying here is not the truth. That if they're telling you that you're not you can opt out and the doctors can only say and report to the federal government what you want them to say, that is flat out lying. So you really need to read the whole bill and to understand what is happening here. And we know that the government is not telling you the whole picture. They're giving you little clips of it. And we're starting to see this happening quite a few times in different areas, not just in the economy and the health, but in different venues of the government's information. And one of that we're seeing also is from the oil spill. And when you go down, when you see this oil spill, you'll find out that, again, you talk about lies. There was a news article that just came out showing you the lies from the oil spill. They're doctoring pictures coming out of that oil spill. And you need to see this information, because when you scroll down after you see my video, you'll see pictures in an article. Click to that link and you'll see all the pictures that were doctored. They're not real. And one of the websites points this out. It was brought to the attention, and now they're going to have to correct it because they got caught. They lied. They're showing you things that are not true. And one of the things that you ought to know about is the fact that there isn't just one leak. There's another leak 5 to 6 miles away from the one it's leaking, and that one is the real danger. And they talk about this in this video that you're going to see when you scroll down. I'm going to put it there. And the government only wants you to know what they want you to know. And that's not the way I know a government should be working. And there's a lot of things that are corrupt. And a lot of things that need to be corrected here. And one of those things is to tell the people the truth. And obviously this isn't going to happen coming from this administration. And so take a look at it for yourself. I'm going to keep going on. You got to understand, in the last days, we know that there's going to be a lot of deception. And it's working toward, the deception is working to one thing: a one world government, a new system with all your information. And they're not going to tell you that this is what's happening. You have all these new systems, the ID coming from the ID for the driver's license. All these things are heading towards the mark of the beast. And you need to pay attention, because you're almost ready to go into the tribulation period.